And we are live.
We're live?
We are on. Yep.
Okay.
So, Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. I
Hello.
wanted to make sure we went live right when you yawned.
Yeah.
And we're only 2 minutes late.
Oh, wow.
I know. Can you believe it? I know. It's amazing. Today is, of course, the 20th day of December, 2025, or the 30th day of the Jewish month of
Kislev.
Kislev. Yes, Kislev. When the year is
3786.
86. Good. And that's dated again from
Creation.
creation. Good. So Shabbat Shalom, which means
Peaceful rest.
peaceful rest. We pray that God will grant everybody a peaceful rest today. You all, as well as you online joining us. Thank you so much for that. So before we get into anything, we want to pray, of course. We have a lot to cover today, and maybe even stir up some controversy.
Uh-oh.
I know, but no yelling or screaming or interrupting each other, right?
No promises. What's that? That's boring.
Yeah, we need to conduct ourselves properly. All right. On that note, Hannah wants to pray, but she keeps looking away from me.
Okay. So Hannah can.
Nice and loud, Hannah. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, God, for this day, and please help us have a nice Bible study today. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Very honest. Okay. Yeah, it's good. So before we start anything else, of course, we're continuing to talk about the war in Gaza. Is the war still going on?
Mm-hmm.
It is. Why is the war still going on?
You still have
We do not have
some boxes.
Ron Givili.
Yeah, Angvili is still there. So until all the bodies are back of all hostages, right? So the war is not over. We are in the 806th day of the war, unfortunately, because of course, Angvili is still there. Why is he still there?
Because they want Hamas refuses to hand it over, yeah.
Yeah, the Hamas refuses to hand it over. They want to drag it out, want to continue to put pressure on Israel. Is it working?
Yeah.
It is indeed.
Yeah, because the gullible, stupid people, other governments.
Tell us how you really feel. Don't hold back.
Oh, I.
But why? Why be boring?
That's true.
That's it.
Anybody who's watching long enough afraid to share.
She's not afraid to share. She's from the East Coast, so I was born in Colorado. So we're like, okay, we just look at her and go, okay. Then we go out and tend our cows and harvest our corn. So
The old Colorado way.
The old Colorado way when we used to have winters. Yeah, it's December here in Colorado. Obviously, it's 20th of December, and it's going to be 60 degrees today.
Yeah.
And on Christmas Day, they're calling for almost 70-degree temperatures. Our mountains, the beautiful Rockies, have almost no snow.
Yeah.
So
all before you come if you're going skiing, because I know they're making snow.
Yeah, they do.
In order
some manufacturing on the ski slopes in Vail and Aspen and Eldora. And
how much water does that take?
A lot.
They complain about us using our lawn.
Because the microphone picks up everybody, we can only have one talking at a time. So just
Is that like how the frick you make snow?
I don't know how they do it, but no, it takes a lot of water. It's very difficult.
What's not snow? That's nice.
I'm going to tell you what snow is.
Regardless, no doubt this is happening because of farting cows and too many people on Earth, right?
Yeah.
I'm making fun of those climate changers who are screaming that we're all dying any moment now. And chopsticks made out of the trees. Yes. Here we go. Regardless, the war in Israel is continuing because Gavili's body has not been returned. And what's a little frustrating is just this past week, the President of the United States was once again making some sort of announcement, and then he sort of diverted a little bit and said that he's, completed or stopped 8 wars in the world. One of them is bringing peace to the Middle East for the first time in 3,000 years, he said.
Oh,
and all the hostages have been returned.
No, they have not.
All the hostages have not been returned. Gavili's body is still there, and his family is still in great sadness and torment. So I'm not sure even where to go from there about the president. So pray for our president.
Not if you want to spend the whole time talking about it, because I
listen to be honest. Let's why hold back. No. Let's move on. That's not our goal today. But
trying to be mature in the Lord.
That's good. And kind and gentle.
Yes.
Also, apparently said he was the first Jewish president.
Who did?
What?
Yeah.
I'm the most Jewish of
We
all the
better
presidential
move on, because
candidates.
there's a lot of fodder here to be.
People want to be Jewish only as long as they're not being sent to a
Yeah.
camp.
I would
or
not be
being
Jewish in this
persecuted.
climate.
Right, you're blown up, or their heads chopped off, or
Property vandalized.
run out of their own country because they're.
But he's a Jew. He's the first Jewish president.
President Trump is many things. Jewish is not one of them. So
He's from the tribe of Kaching.
No, because this is the point. Because it's all Jew.
Oh,
What'd you say?
bricked out Joe.
Do we even want to?
my son, who is ethnically Jewish and looks like a Jew, if you see, my oldest son, is just made a parody Jewish slur. So I will not repeat it, but
Hopefully you didn't hear it.
he is stuck with his genetics. He is Jewish, like it or not. So
He woke up and wanted to watch the World Ball.
yes, exactly. Bring it on. Regardless, the war continues. So here's another question. How about levels of anti-Semitism around the world? I don't believe I have to ask this. Are those going down? Are those going up? What's going on with
Still the same.
anti-Semitism?
Oh.
They're actually increasing.
Yeah.
If you look at the ADL's website, and there's another website that talks about anti-Semitic events this week, and it updates every week. Yeah. So, for example, the shooting in Brown University was believed to be an anti-Semitic attack because the professor was Jewish. And there was another professor, I think in New York, right, a physics professor, who was found shot in his apartment, also Jewish. And then, of course, we don't need to talk about Bondi Beach in Australia, where on the first day of Hanukkah, so many Jewish people, I think 16, died, hundreds more murdered, injured by a Muslim man. Now, having said that, thank God for the other Muslim man who stopped one of the shooters. He received over $2.5 million in a GoFundMe.
Wow. Why?
Also, multiple threats from ISIS against his life.
Well, of course.
Yeah. So, as you do.
We got you back. We'll protect you.
Yeah. It's a weird time right now. It's just very bizarre. And of course, our enemies like to attack us, especially in the holidays, and we are in the midst of Hanukkah. So it makes sense. So yeah, there's a lot going on. Update from our side of the world. Have the police helped us at all with the person who vandalized our home and trespassed and cut down our Israeli flag?
No, not a bit. We haven't even heard from them.
Nothing at all. I did report it as well to the local press to let them know, hey, these things are going on. Silence. Yeah.
There's nothing they can do.
Well, they need to at least report on it. Let people be made aware that these things are happening.
Oh, we put it on our to see if anybody has see if anybody has any footage, and we got lots of hate
there's
comments.
A local social media group of just people in Greeley, Colorado, which is the opposite of Hawaii. And about half the comments were, F Israel, and somebody posted a copy of the Protocols of Elders of Zion.
What's that?
Oh, somebody tell your mom what the Protocols of the Elders of Zion is, real fast.
So
I don't know.
So supposedly in like the 1800s, they found a document written by powerful Jewish people called Protocols of Elders of Zion. Basically, it was an outline of Jewish plans to take over governments and
control the world,
make religion their dominant.
Yeah.
It was disproven false. The Jews who wrote it do not exist. And I think a woman wrote it.
That was some weird forgery from a grotesque anti-Semitic Gentile person. Yeah.
But like it was some random British woman or something, and it was just it's been used as
proof of our
it's been used as proof, but it's not real. And even anti-Semites freaking I don't know. I'm trying to think of a very famous anti-Semite
take your pick.
There are prominent anti-Semites online who are the Protocols of Zion are not
real.
Not real.
Yeah. But that was posted on our social media comments, that kind of thing. So,
Did you comment on that?
I haven't yet commented on anything.
No.
I will make a comment about it all. Regardless, it's just a weird time, right? Very weird, very uncomfortable. But we've seen these times before. This is nothing new. So, anything else about the continuing war in Gaza, about the family of Rangavile, about anti-Semitism around the world, or is it so depressing you just want to move on?
Let's move.
It's pretty depressing.
Yeah, it's pretty depressing.
I'm at the point where I don't care. I don't like I don't like Israel. I don't like Gaza. I don't like.
You don't like the people of Israel?
I don't like the state of Israel.
But it's going.
You like
it's in our home
government of
Israel?
Okay.
It's in our own country. So we
And that's why it's uncomfortable.
It's very, very bad in the United States.
Being attacked in the homeland.
I mean, everybody has freedom in America except for Jews and Christians.
Well, I mean, we still have a right to have our property destroyed.
We have a right
You still have
to
freedom.
file a police report, and they do diddly squat about it.
Well,
We
there's not
even
much
sent a pretty good video.
There's not much they can do.
Yes. No.
He was wearing a mask. There were no prints. He was wearing gloves. There's nothing they can do.
I mean, they did at least file it as a hate crime.
Here we go.
So that's something.
Yeah, that's a
you know,
federal crime.
you got- Is it? Is it?
Yeah,
crime?
hate
Yeah, hate crimes are very.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Here we go.
So
And-
whoever this thug is,
And you know,
I hope
always.
he's
No, I can't say that.
looking behind his back. Say again.
No, I can't say that.
Okay. All right. So moving on then. So we continue to need prayer, of course. And I know I ask for prayer every week, and I mean it. Every week we need prayer. We need prayer for what? We need prayer for Israel, the state, as well as the people, right? And we need prayer for Jews around the world, our protection. We need prayer for Christians. Christian persecution has raised dramatically in the past 5 years, and it's just going up and up and up all over the place. What else do we need prayer for? We need prayer for the Palestinian people, right? Because they are programmed with hate against us from the time literally that they're born
Yeah.
and their education. And we need to pray for our enemies, including Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis, the 3 H's. These are all sponsored by the state of Iran. And we're praying that all of these people will know the Lord. They will get saved and know Yeshua the Messiah. Because once hearts are changed, all of this stops. The person that attacked our trespassed and attacked our property a week ago, if he was born again, truly born again, he would not have done it in the first place. Because Yeshua tells us to love people and to respect people. So there we go.
You just reminded me of something. There was a Palestinian children's show that had like a rip-off Mickey Mouse, and it was the funniest freaking thing ever.
Oh yeah.
It was like, you can sacrifice yourself for Allah too. I don't know if it was Palestine or if it was the West Bank area, but it was the funniest freaking thing ever.
It was Palestine. I remember.
It's being, like shot by like IDF soldiers,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh no!" It's in Arabic, but it's like, "Oh no, I need help," and it's the funniest thing. Nothing against Muslim people, but it was the funniest freaking thing I've ever saw. It would not be. It would.
That is something against them. You don't raise your children to be.
No, I mean it's bad, but it's so funny because it's like that would not.
Apparently you did.
I would be terrified of Allah if that's what Mickey Mouse looks like, because like that's scary. It's so funny though.
It was a horrifying costume. But they do raise them from a very, very young age, and we have so much abundant proof of this in textbooks and movies and kid shows and games to kill the Jew. Not just kill Israel, kill a Jew.
Yeah.
So it's global. They want to globalize Intifada. It is being globalized, and it's we're the targets. So
Yeah.
If Mickey Mouse was coming at me like with a bomb jacket, I'd be freaking screaming. I'd be terrible.
Big white shoes and white 3 fingers or something.
To be fair, do you know what?
Oh, and the brother. Yeah, I did.
Say that again, Joshua.
To be fair, have you read about what Disney?
Yeah.
Well, that's another question: is why isn't Walt Disney suing them for images of Mickey Mouse?
Because
That's
Disney was anti-Semite.
Because Disney doesn't care as long as it's not a Christian or a Jew
It's like
or an average
I
citizen.
don't think even they knew because that was like leaked footage.
yeah, they didn't know until there's not much they can do if a terrorist group is using their thing. Hamas.
Yeah,
There is international copyright laws.
If
And
they
it doesn't matter
Nintendo,
You know,
Disney.
if somebody
Nintendo was
and Disney there's a Euro Disney, so they have to have
yeah, but
at
then,
least some copyright,
then
international copyrights.
I don't think Hamas would listen to international copyright laws.
Well, yeah,
Probably
because
not.
people are afraid of them.
The bullies on the playground.
It's because you strap a bomb to your chest and people think, oh, they'll blow you up, but I mean they will.
My favorite
But-
sorry.
You don't have to be afraid of them. If the rest of the world got together and said, hey, we're not going to put up with this,
My favorite South
what are
Park.
they going to do?
My favorite South Park quote you reminded me of was is like, you know what, guys, it's okay. The only way to get things done is through fear of violence, action of violence. if you want to get your way, just skip. Because he was making fun of like the threats.
They showed
They showed Muhammad and people were threatening them with violence, and one of the characters was like, "That's the way to get things done. Is threats of violence." And it was
Do you know what's funny?
That's what they've learned.
Do you know what's funny is in the mainstream streaming of that, they censored Kyle's speech.
I know that's the funniest thing ever.
What? The truth?
No, they were making a statement because he was talking about like censorship and all that, and they censored his speech.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, so it was purpose.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We continue to need prayer. Okay. So today, of course, again, is the 20th of December, and it's beginning to look a lot
Like
like
Christmas.
Christmas. Yes, Christmas is coming. The goose is getting fat.
We did have a few snowflakes.
Yeah, it was annoying.
Holy
Yeah.
We're like right.
I didn't see.
Well, this morning I woke up and I looked to see what the weather was, and we're like right on the edge of a snowstorm. So we have like one, one drop here and there, but I think that way,
Oh, really? I didn't.
whatever the map is they're
Well, I
getting.
know they're calling like, excuse me, 60 degrees today or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's gonna be like 57. It's gonna almost 57 John for Christmas.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
it was cold this morning though.
It was very
It was
cool.
But it still has some snowflakes.
Christmas.
Yay.
What is a Messianic Jewish response? Jews who believe in Jesus. What do we do with this holiday? Now, having said that, here's my disclaimer. I was adopted when I was very, very young by a full family, essentially, and we grew up with Christmas, right? I didn't even really know my ethnicity or my father's side of the family until I was a young man and in my 20s. So Christmas to me has always been associated with lights and trees and bulbs and candies and cookies and presents
And
and
family and
family, exactly,
ham and turkey.
and drunk people and drunk adults and screaming. Not in our family,
We didn't drink.
right? Not every Christmas, but some Christmases. But the point being, of course, is it's always been a part of my life, right? And then when I found out that I was ethnically Jewish on my father's side as well as my mother's side, I just was like, okay, we're celebrating the birth of the Jewish Messiah, so it's not really an issue. Oh, was I wrong? If nothing else, we know as a people how to make an issue out of things. So,
Oh no.
oh yes. So, what should be our response right now? You guys, all of you, were raised in a Messianic Jewish home, right? Your father is a rabbi. Ben was like, man, every once in a while we have ham.
It's mostly.
We don't have ham. I don't like ham, so we would never.
We don't have
Oh,
pork. I was joking.
ham.
So you guys were raised in a Messianic Jewish home, right? Where your father was a rabbi. We respected the laws and continue to do so of the Torah concerning eating kosher and keeping the high holy days and things like this. Did you all grow up with Christmas?
Yeah.
Is Christmas in the Bible?
No, I mean the story.
I mean, it's off of
the it's not a high holy day. It's just it's.
technically.
Never once told us over it.
I mean, it's in the story. It doesn't tell us to celebrate it.
They never once.
I mean,
The birth of Jesus is in it.
He was born in
I
Bethlehem.
No, it did not say that.
technically, I think it was Luke who said that Jesus was born and tabernacled among us.
Yeah, but
it doesn't say
That was John.
So,
but
It's not celebrate.
but like, is
no,
it
but that's a very specific word, don't you think?
like in the Old
Tabernacle.
Testament they have these holidays set apart? Is it set apart that way?
I think Sukkot was set up for several reasons.
Celebrate Sukkot. If he was
No, but Sukkot is. We're talking about Christmas.
no, Josh. So Josh,
How do you know they're not one of the same?
no, Josh.
Those are two different holidays.
Josh, obviously, Josh, if Sukkot has messianic meaning, it's obviously a high holy day. But
Yeah.
like,
He was born in
I'm talking about the event of the no,
He didn't tell us celebrate.
and that's what I'm saying. It's
Although technically, like the angels to the disciples did say rejoice.
just
So.
to rejoice, but like the angels,
Be happy.
angels can't tell us what
Is
to
it?
do.
Yes.
Well, they can't make covenants. There's like in the
That's your technically.
Okay, again, one at a
Sorry,
time.
Dad's asking.
Understand everybody in the mic if you're
What's the most any of us have talked to?
Yeah, exactly.
Dad's asking, is it in the Bible? And I guess the answer is the event of Christmas is in the Bible. Is the holiday in the Bible? No.
I think it would to answer your question, it would be depending on how what you focus on. Like we all
That's-
know, the history of Christmas and how it came about on the December 25th, and Constantine.
I mean, did we all know that?
Well, we all know that. But what I'm saying is that, when we celebrate Christmas, we don't like I know one of the things that we would, hear when we were
Now you grew up with Christmas. Okay, yeah.
pastoring in Ballet was that when you have a Christmas tree, it's a totem pole.
Okay.
Or when you bow down to put presents under the tree, you're bowing to whatever the totem pole is supposed to be.
I just dropped them.
But you know, I guess it's like anything else. If you take it to an extreme, like the focus is not Christ's birth anymore, then you've lost. Then you've gone beyond.
Okay.
You're not celebrating Christmas. You're celebrating. Yeah.
So the biggest, of course, objection to celebrating Christmas, especially in Messianic Jewish circles, is that it's allegedly pagan, right? And God is very clear. He says, "Call them out from among them, my people. Do not do the things of the nations, the pagan nations to which I'm sending you to destroy them, etc., etc." In Deuteronomy and other places. So, should a Messianic Jew celebrate Christmas? What should be our response? First and foremost, and I'm not trying to be stupid here. What do we mean by Christmas? Okay, so let's define it.
Christmas.
Hannah.
Obviously, that it's like the birth of Christ.
Okay. Okay.
No, it's the season of moth and jolly.
Oh, the Muppets Christmas Carol. Okay,
Sleep till Christmas.
Nice to see, but
so the word actually means what?
Crazy.
Math.
I think it actually falls to the church mass for the call on that day.
So it's a Roman Catholic, right? Word, which refers to. Sorry, my typing is awful. The special mass. So what's a mass?
It's just a gathering together.
Religious service, right? That would be held either on December 24th or 25th, marking the birth of Jesus Christ. And I put Jesus Christ deliberately there because this is a Roman Catholic Gentile tradition, right? Is there any record before the Roman Catholic Church was sort of evolved and happened in the 4th century AD? Is there any record that Jesus' birth was marked as a special occasion?
No. Like, it was a special occasion, but I don't know if you mean like.
Is there any recording of people in the 2nd century celebrating Jesus' birth?
I don't
In the
think so.
not in the 2nd century. in the Bible.
2nd century AD, right? I'm not talking about the Bible. Well, it's certainly Bible, yes, but also extra biblical writings.
I don't think
Yeah.
there was because that was one of the things. Was it Constantine or the
Maybe not.
Roman
Maybe not.
person was?
Maybe not.
He was. There was nothing, and that he was trying to get favor with the Jewish people, and kind of appease different religions, and so
Okay.
he's the one that put it together only because he wanted to rule everybody and make everybody happy.
Okay.
Sort of.
So there's a set of writings called the Ante-Nicene Fathers, and these are religious leaders that, from the time of the resurrection, essentially of Yeshua, to the time of Constantine, in that period in between. These were the religious leaders that sort of helped grow the church, Jews and Gentiles together, and spread the gospel throughout the Mediterranean and in Europe and Africa and parts of Asia. And the writings are not gospel truth; they're just writings, they're
Right.
teachings or letters, things of that nature.
Well, historical reference of the culture of the time.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And they're fascinating. There they go.
There's our chaos.
I don't want him to.
We have 2 dogs. One of them is a very yippy dachshund named Max. And if we put him in his cage during our Bible study, he'll bark. If we let him out, he'll bark. If we put him upstairs, he'll bark. If we put him outside, he'll bark.
He's a barker.
Yes.
So,
So
mom holds me tight.
until we put him down, he'll continue barking.
Put him down?
Don't say that.
For now. For now.
That's evil.
For now.
Our dog will find one. Max, he loves Max very much.
So hopefully you can still hear me. So this is an idea that we don't really have record of Yeshua's birth being celebrated by Jews or Gentiles before the 4th century AD.
They were too
Okay.
busy running for their lives.
Yeah, there was a lot of persecution, unfortunately, at the time.
Besides, by the way, I don't think his birth really matters that much in comparison.
That's what I was
I mean, God makes a pretty big deal about it in the Bible.
I mean, yeah, but I think his death's the main thing.
Yeah, yes, but it's pretty much like.
But not only
born. They did this.
Yeah, it doesn't tackle his childhood.
It was
It doesn't
Fox.
tackle it either.
Just one time, right? In the temple.
Yeah.
But I think that if that was so, Josh, you wouldn't have prophesied the birth in the specific way
Thing
it
was-
was, and
Well, the guy's gonna be born.
I think it was more just.
it's fulfillment of prophecy, which also proves
He's actually already.
Christ's deity. It's a fulfillment, the death and birth and the death and the resurrection of Christ are all prophetic things that confirmed his deity. So it is important. You can't have the death and burial without the birth.
Well, God did make a specific sign for his birth, so he wouldn't miss it when he came, right?
Exactly.
And that sign was the star and virgin birth. There were a couple of them. Yeah, a star shall rise out of Jacob, right? A scepter, and the book of Numbers, and then of course that he be born of a virgin. It's very clear in the prophecies about this. So his birth certainly was important, but it's interesting. Oh, there's Max. But it's interesting that oh, Max. But it's interesting, despite that, right? That we have no real record of it being celebrated or observed as a holiday per se until Constantine. So, what happened in the 4th century?
Now,
I don't want a world history, just pretending to Christmas.
was his mother Christian or was his mother a believer?
He was
Something with his mother.
His mother was also
Jesus' mother,
So
because she kind of favored.
Constantine's false interaction with Christianity. So there have been mass persecution Christians in the Roman Empire since Nero. There was that's what made them spread was the Christianity was being persecuted in Rome, so they had to go everywhere else.
You have to speak clearly and loud, please.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Roman Empire was very unfavorable towards Christians. However, by the time of Constantine, before he was emperor, but around that time, there was more popularity with Christianity. People were like, okay, this is not just a small Roman cult. This is because cult didn't mean the same thing back then. It meant like a very relatively large group of beliefs.
You have to speak louder. I'm sorry.
And by the time of Constantine, it was huge. He didn't believe it at first. He was raised with the imperial cult of Rome, like every other.
Which is polytheism,
emperor,
right?
yeah. However, there was he was fighting, I believe, in I don't know where it was. It was like modern day Spain or something like that. Constantine was fighting a war, and before a great battle, supposedly he saw a cross in the sky, and God promised him, "You look up in the heavens while you fight, you'll win the battle." And
By this sign you shall conquer.
yeah,
Yeah.
legend is he won that battle. He didn't make it the religion of Rome yet, but he legalized all religions. He is the first major state to have freedom of religion. The next few emperors would legalize Rome. Oh, legalize Rome. They would legalize Christianity, or it was already legal. They would make it the official state religion of Rome. There was one emperor who tried to go back to it, but he didn't last long. And ever since then, Roman was a Catholic state, and Catholicism comes from Rome.
So Constantine was interesting, and you have a great history of Rome. I know you like to study Roman history. This was not the first time he said by a religious symbol he would conquer. There were other religions that he adopted to do that as well, to motivate his troops, depending on whoever they were attacking, right? And it was politically expedient for him to use a cross and adopt Christianity at this time. So you are right, of course, about everything you said. How did Constantine, who was certainly not a good dude, how did he get his people in the empire to accept Christianity as being equal to all the other religions at the time?
He mixed in with some paganism and Roman mysticism.
He mixed in Roman mysticism and paganism, right? He was like, oh, you don't have to, believe like the Jewish thing. In fact, we'll take away Saturdays and we'll change it to Sunday, and we'll take away Passover. Passover, it's Jewish, and we'll institute Easter,
Yeah.
right? To celebrate the resurrection of this God who's one of many gods.
Hmm.
And we're going to mix in all sorts of things to make it palatable for the Roman religious diet, if you will. So it got watered down. Now, Constantine had a mother, Helena, and she was literally a psychopathic. Okay, this woman, I don't know what the heck was up with her, but she decided to take a trip to Israel, to the Holy Land, right, to find pagan relics and artifacts, because that was a common thing in Roman religion, was to have artifacts you could touch to help spur on your faith in whatever god you were worshiping. So she went to Israel, and she was going to find the true cross of Christ, she said. Now remember, this is the 4th century AD. It's over 350 years after the death and resurrection of Yeshua. The cross is made of wood. Wood deteriorates. it breaks apart.
Not only that, but they probably reused it 7,000 to 5,000 times after him.
So the Romans were not in the habit of keeping crosses
Relics,
which they would crucify their criminals, and Yeshua was crucified as a criminal by them. So how did she find the cross of Christ and the place where Jesus had been crucified? Calvary.
She asked politely.
How did she ask? Biniam,
By
what did she do?
torturing several hundred Jews.
Yes, so Helena went there, and she, like her son, was a virulent anti-Semite, hated Jews, and she tortured Jews until one of them finally said, and this poor Jew, he was in the bottom of a hole,
Oh, geez.
no food, no water, and every day they kept him there for a long time. He was starting to die, until finally he said, "Yes, that, over there, that's where they killed Jesus," and she said, "That's where who killed Jesus?
Oh,
That's where we killed Jesus." Right?
jeez, man.
Yeah. So Helena was not a good person. So the place to which the poor Jewish torture dude pointed was the Temple of Venus in Jerusalem. Right now, it wasn't called Jerusalem at the time. It was given a pagan name by the Romans.
Yeah, we
So
called it Palestine for a while.
not the city, Ialina Capitolina.
Oh, I'm talking about the city.
It's talking about the city.
They
of
wanted to
Jerusalem.
strip it of
Any Jewish identity. Yeah. So she went to the Temple of Venus, and because her son was the emperor, she pulled it down and built the modern day Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. And made it a very paganistic, kiss this rock and buy this little thing here and come on in shrine to something that was not at all biblical faith. Interesting. Now, along this line, talk to me about the date, December 25th.
I don't want
I
to
believe. Well, I think winter as a season has always been very important for humans throughout history because that's when the harvest ends.
But what about this date in particular?
I have no clue what 25th.
Something about the equinox and the pagan, like, something about pagan time or something, or New Year, or like there was something about a sacrifice. Was it? I don't know. A sacrifice, something pagan. And
That's sorry.
Yes.
December 25th was also one of Roman holidays for like Saturn and
Oh, so there already was a Roman pagan holiday on December 25th?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember that.
So
Saturn
so Constantine mixed biblical Christianity, right?
Okay.
And up until this time, Christianity was considered a Jewish faith. It was essentially Jewish. We met on Saturdays. We kept Passover, all the things, even if you were Goyish, even if you were Gentile, because it was an expression of the Jewish Messiah that came from the land of Israel. But Constantine mixed this biblical Christianity with pagan beliefs, and he came up with, essentially birthed, what do we call today?
Christmas.
Roman Catholic Church.
Oh,
the Roman Catholic Church. Oh, boy.
Church, right?
Yeah.
I have to give some credit. A lot of the later Roman Catholics tried to get away from the influence of the.
It's kind of hard to do that when
It's
people
hard.
did
When they really be mounted, they're like, yeah, we don't believe in like Venus or anything. We believe in Christ and His mother. And
yeah,
we believe in
but it's like
the sacrifice.
groupism. I mean,
It's
Well, they
not
went from
good.
one frying pan to another.
One at a time. One at a time.
And the people who canonized the New Testament, they were Catholics. The Nicene Creed was written by Catholics, and I think the impact of Rome on Christianity is.
I don't think it was because then they would have included like the Book of Maccabees and stuff.
I mean,
This
was way before like Catholicism's like Apocrypha and stuff. This was only Roman Catholicism, and again, this was way later after Constantine, because Constantine started it out. He was like, we're gonna make this a Roman belief, not a Jewish belief, and that's it.
Correct.
And also, I gotta give to Constantine. He's a terrible person, but that man knew how to play people. He was a
politician.
He knew how to, because he was such a good strategist, or at least he thought he was. He moved the entire capital of Rome to
Constantinople, right? It's Istanbul today.
Yeah, which he not at all in a very humble way named after himself.
Yes, Constantinople.
Yeah.
Why not?
But like, Constantine's not a good guy. He's a terrible person, but it just reminded me of it.
Wow. Forgive me for these thoughts.
What?
So we're gonna name the city after me. We're gonna buildings after me.
If there was a nation, that would be.
No, I'm being silly. I'm not trying to be political. I'm very grateful that President Trump won and Kamala Harris lost. I'll just be honest about that because she was not ready to lead this country.
I just want to, on the record, I don't think Constantine's good. I'm saying it's like he
What? The crazy madman? Was he good?
he
Who
was
slaughtered Jews, and
he was a genius Roman emperor.
he was a genius politician.
Yeah.
Right? He knew how to, as you say, sway people, and it's easy to sway people when you have the end of the sword on your side.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
The biggest empire.
Yeah, when you have 25,000 people in your army, you can
I mean, hundreds of
persuade
thousands.
anybody you want.
Hundreds of thousands. So why the date of December 25th? Where did this come from?
Because the
So it was a Roman, it was already a Roman holiday.
So what was it, Joshua?
I'm not exactly sure. It seems it was the biggest one was the one celebrating Saturn.
Like the false gods of Rome.
Saturday.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, I know that's where we get it.
I thought
It is.
the gods of like Saturn and all them were Greek mythology.
They're based on Greeks. Like Zeus.
I know, but what with Roman?
Romans took a lot from
Yeah.
like we're talking like before even
They steal from everybody. They steal from the
sometimes,
Jews,
yeah.
they steal from the Greeks.
Yeah.
before the Roman Empire even existed, when it was still small states, they took a lot from Greeks. They took a lot from from the Etruscans, and they even the false like Augustus Caesar and like Nero and stuff like that. When they conquered an area, they would incorporate their culture into their own. It's like you're no longer this, you're Roman. And
Yeah, Rome did that to everybody.
yeah, they tried to be very homogenous throughout the empire. Only like the Republic when before the empire, they let them relatively stay do their own thing, pay tribute to the getting on Roman history. But like in late sum it up later years they tried to have a very homogenous thing.
It was interesting because that dynamic helped their empire expand, but it also helped weaken the empire over time.
Yeah.
So then they fell apart. So this date of December 25th became a time of frivolity and feasting and gift giving throughout the empire, and it had been for a while celebrating their false gods, right? Okay. So what did Constantine decide to do? While we're thinking about that question, Hannah had something she wanted to add.
What's that do about
Well, as I said, it's the birth of Christ.
Mhm.
Still, he was born in Bethlehem.
He was born in Bethlehem, which means house of bread. House of bread in Hebrew. Yeah. That's why he calls himself the bread of the world, right? Or the bread of life. Thank you. So, all right. Why did he pick this day? There are a lot of Roman holidays throughout the Roman calendar, or there were in the ancient world. Why December 25th?
Because December 25th was also the celebration of another birthday of another deity,
Which was?
Saturn.
Yes.
Well, also,
So,
no, it seems like I mean, to me, it seems like he was kind of mocking God, you know,
I don't think
by
so.
saying, "Oh, well, he's just, part of all the gods that were born this day."
I think he definitely was making Jesus just another god.
Yeah,
he was mocking him, but I
Yeah.
think he was definitely making his version of God. And he
Right.
said, "This is a Roman God,
Right.
Roman
That's
Christ."
exactly
but he was just throwing them in with the rest of
His name on everything.
the many
Right,
gods
so-
that they had.
Since this was a celebration birthday. I am a really bad speller. I'm so
You
sorry.
have to get two gifts, one for Saturn and one for Jesus. That's Constantine's thing.
Remember that no rule I started? I rescinded as of now.
What?
That we're not hitting each other anymore.
Oh, yeah, we don't see any even joking. We
Back of the head. Okay.
Okay.
So this was a celebration of the birthday of one of the false gods. So Constantine was like, why not? It'll help incorporate this idea of Christianity into the culture, and the people won't have to really change anything. We'll just tack another name onto it. Excuse me. So that became December 25th, right? Now, tell me what happened through the years to this.
It's
Phil, Jesus stayed popular. Christmas was all what we made.
Okay, so Rome fell, right? Thank God. And that was about when?
oh,
It was a horrible.
Not counting the
They would
fake
kill you
Roman
in a heartbeat.
Empire.
I'd be like Paul. I'd buy my citizenship.
Well, that was 70,
Biggest family
right?
problem.
No.
70 AD after the fall of
Was he
Jerusalem.
listening to it?
Yeah.
I think that was around 400 AD, right?
So yeah, Rome fell about the 5th century AD. So
Okay.
it lasted about 1,000 years ish, depending on who you read.
They lasted a long time. They
Yeah.
were nothing like old Rome when they fell.
So in time, what was that? What is that? Like,
So, like,
years?
About
About 400s, about
Oh.
400s, yeah. So what did not fall in the 5th century AD?
Christianity.
Well, yes, Christianity, but the Roman Catholic Church And I'm making a difference between the Roman Catholic Church and biblical Christianity.
Like,
We don't have time to go into all that today, but the Roman Catholic Church, based on their current doctrines and the doctrines of their ancient faith, is not compatible with biblical Christian faith. It's just not.
there's some really good Catholics out there, but Catholicism itself is very.
Yeah, it's awful.
I think
So
my favorite Catholic scholar, because of how close he is to the real Bible, is Augustine.
Augustine.
Oh, Augustine.
Augustine.
Saint Augustine. He tried very much to be like. He was very literalist.
Yeah.
He was like.
There are some born again Catholics. I mean, they're like the what are those Catholics? They're spirit filled.
Spirit-filled.
There are charismatic Catholics.
Charismatic Catholics. So there are Catholics that don't pray to Mary. So even in the fringes of Catholicism, or even probably Rome, they had people that stuck with the Bible.
I mean, that's
stuck
canon
with the Bible, not stuck.
The story of the canon of the New Testament.
Mhm.
Like that's how they determined canon. They were Catholic.
Right.
Very. It's weird because Catholicism. It's a lot more like a culture than a set of rules that decide.
Yeah, we're running out of time. I'm sorry. Okay, so the Roman Catholic Church didn't follow a groove, right? And often at the end of a sword, crusades, anyone, it spread its faith, right? Faith.
Yeah.
And money and power and influence. And it actually snapped in two, if you guys know. And then there was an Eastern and a Western Roman Catholic history, and then there was the Greek Orthodox in the East, and then there were at one time there were two popes, right? And there was just this weirdness going on because people are people. But it never died. It just continued to grow. Today, the Roman Catholic Church, headquartered in the Vatican in Rome, is the wealthiest organization on the planet.
And they steal from everybody, though. They take all their relics and stuff.
Well, that's very Roman, though. Very Roman.
Yeah.
They don't do that as much anymore. I feel like after the past 100 years, they were like, "Yeah, we don't do that, guys." Like they don't want to be seen as crusaders anymore.
So the Roman Catholic Church kept December 25th, right? As a holiday celebrating the birth of Yeshua. Tell me what happened on the doors of Württemberg Cathedral.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Martin Luther.
Birth of Yeshua. Birth
The
of
Protestant Reformation was born.
Yeah,
Okay.
but Martin Luther
It's not.
left his 13.
It's like Christmas. Oh,
Was it?
Christmas?
I don't know.
How many of those things did he have against the Catholic Church?
It was like I thought
13?
it was like 90. I thought
That's an awful long
it
way.
opened that door like completely.
Do you know how many there were?
99 theses.
99 things. Yeah, we were.
Well, you couldn't have one more.
Yeah.
Couldn't come
Oh,
up
just
with
one?
right against the-
Like, stole the yarmulke.
He had a lot.
Yeah, no.
Jews.
Well, he had a lot to say about
He
Jews.
put his 99 theses on Halloween.
Yep. October 31st, because that was a Roman holiday. It was All Hallows Eve,
Yeah.
right? For All Saints Day. So Martin Luther, a brilliant scholar, but who lost all respect from me when he became a virulent anti-Semite,
Yes,
before he died.
At the end of his life, he was like, "These Jews."
Yeah, exactly.
No.
He was relatively tolerant before he died. Like in his younger years, he was
Yeah.
relatively tolerant.
So he started the Reformation. What was the Reformation?
It was a split between. So the Catholic Church, by the time of the Reformation, it's not like modern Catholics who are like, "Yeah, we only eat fish on Fridays." The Reformation was a The Catholic Church was weird. You could buy your way to heaven. You could like
Yeah, so the Catholic Church was doing something called selling indulgences.
Yeah.
Right? And what is an indulgence?
you
This
buy
is true.
stuff.
Like if you want to drink or you want to swear,
The Crusaders were warriors.
have sex.
So
I don't know.
during the time of the Crusades,
What?
they were trying to motivate people to retake the Holy Land.
You got Josh with the
And so they were like, if you take this land, your violence will be forgiven automatically.
So yeah, so what an indulgence was is if you do this thing for us or you pay us money, you can sin all you want and it'll be automatically forgiven because you paid money to the Mother Church. It's true.
You can find that in the Bible anywhere.
Remember,
Hey.
Roman Catholic faith is not based on the Christian Bible.
I know.
Okay.
Just being.
I
So
mean, it's fun.
they
It's like,
so they sold indulgences and did all sorts of terrible things. They forbid Roman Catholic priests to marry. Sexual immorality exploded throughout the Catholic Church. Many of the monasteries of Europe have graveyards of hundreds and hundreds of babies who were murdered by nuns that had been impregnated by monks. True story. It was just evil. Okay, all this garbage that was going on. Martin Luther stood up in the 16th century and he said, "Enough. This is not biblical." Martin Luther adopted a saying, sola scriptura, right? Which means scripture only. Not your man-made traditions, not the pagan influences of a dead empire by that time, but just the Bible. And he started the Reformation. People started to leave the Catholic Church en masse, right? Thousands throughout Europe. Started their own little churches called
The Lutheran
churches, right? Named after the guy.
Then they split. There was like Calvinism. And
Oh, yeah. I mean, shattered.
Presbyterianism.
And it started something called Protestantism, which were the protesters against the Roman Catholic Church.
That's what Messianic Jews come from. They began. I mean, the false church was
Not quite.
well, the false church was Jewish, but like Protestantism is where the modern Messianic Jews come from.
We'll look at the history of Messianic Judaism sometime later when we have time. So this started the Reformation, right? And people were like, "Oh no, this Catholic thing is unbiblical," even though most people couldn't read the Bible. So Luther was like, "Well, we need to teach people how to read. We need to have a copy of the Bible in a language people understand." And Luther made the first German translation of the Bible in history.
Wow.
I have a copy of that in my study. It's not super close to the Greek and Hebrew, but it's pretty good. And it does communicate the gospel. And Martin Luther, for all of his extraordinary giftings and strengths, decided at the end of his life that Jews are awful and we should die. And he wrote a book called On the Jews and Their Lies before he died. And it was this book that helped found or lay the foundation for Hitler's philosophy for the Holocaust many centuries later. So, he was doing great, and right at the end, he just swerved up the path, and it got bad. So,
how he felt when he stood before the
Yeah.
Messiah.
oops.
Can I take back that publication?
But the Protestants who kept, who were broke away from the Catholic Church, they kept a lot of the Roman Catholic holidays, including Christmas, right?
Yeah, Christmas.
So December 25th became sealed at that point. It wasn't just a Roman Catholic holiday. Now it became a Christendom holiday. And Protestants, a lot of who were actually born again legitimately, right? They were moving away from the paganism of the Roman Catholic Church. They were like, okay, Christmas, yay, we're going to celebrate this. And it spread throughout the world. So that even today in non-Christian countries, Christmas is still celebrated and observed. You will find a Christmas tree in Indonesia, the most populous Muslim country on earth. Why?
Because it's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
You
Gotta do the Christmas tree, right?
I think Muslims do so.
Some of them, they don't like to give gifts or anything.
No,
they
yeah.
have Christmas tree or something.
Yeah, it's Christmas.
Not all of them, but some.
No, yeah.
So this is where it came from, right? This is why Christmas is on the 25th of December. Now, this brings us back to our current question. What should Messianic Jews do? Right? Should we celebrate Christmas? That's really the question.
Because we have to get into the history of Judaism.
No, we don't have time for that.
I know, that's the thing. I mean,
A short answer.
a short answer
Yeah.
is sure. It's up to the Messianic Jews.
I think they can celebrate the message, but not the history of a holiday.
I think
Is a Christmas tree pagan?
No.
Yes.
Nah.
the tree itself,
God made
Okay.
the tree
Yes,
itself.
like fight.
I thought some of the wreath was, but I don't think the tree itself was.
Okay, so where did the idea of the Christmas tree come from?
I believe it came from like the cross.
Yeah.
The idea.
There were people who were illiterate and they couldn't read the Gospels.
Yeah.
So it became a living message of the gospel, right? And you ascend up and you have the star of the angel on top, and there was a gift at the bottom, the gift being Yeshua, and then you would hang things on it that would symbolize the life and ministry of Jesus, and put lights on it later, candles at first, symbolizing Jesus, light of the world. So the Christmas tree itself is not pagan, right? But sometimes you get crazy people today who scream that it is because they misapply some scriptures from the book of Jeremiah. So, but the real question is on the table, and let's take a poll. Should Messianic Jews celebrate Christmas? Mom,
Yes.
Benjamin,
Yes.
Joshua,
Yes.
Joseph.
No.
That's the
Yes.
truth.
So we have 4 yeses and 1 no. We'll go with the minority first. Joseph, why should Messianic Jews not celebrate Christmas?
It's a like pagan holiday.
Pagan meaning founded by Rome, a mixture of that Roman
Yeah, but
with
it's
theism.
hypocritical to celebrate that, and not like I don't know, a pagan holiday. Like
Okay,
We do celebrate Easter. Well, we don't, but they celebrate Easter, so.
with the emphasis being on Yeshua's resurrection.
there we go, paganism holiday.
So Joseph says it's pagan, and therefore we shouldn't do it, right? All right. Joshua, do you want to counter that point?
Counter boy.
I think the main idea, at least the modern idea of Christmas, is no longer pagan. Like the Christmas tree itself is pretty,
The Christmas tree is pagan, but we're not gonna get into that.
the Christmas tree is not pagan.
We're not getting into that now.
He's trying to be contrarian. Joe, why do you actually believe that Christians should?
I just asked him that.
Because it's pagan.
But like, wow,
Too late.
How is it pagan?
give us an example.
Josh is countering stuff. Josh is gonna counter.
Well, I would.
You just-
Are you going to counter?
I'm just saying it's not pagan. You can't prove it's not.
whole thing
You
with
can't
how
prove it's
that's
pagan.
Joe, besides the day, like of the month, what's pagan about it?
Everything.
Heavy?
The nativity scene is pagan.
Nativity scene. No.
Okay, so nativity scene was originated from medieval Europe. Again, most people can read or write, so the gospel story would be communicated through little figurines. Literally, that's how it happened. They would have plays with it to communicate the gospel as well. It's quite clever, actually.
I think that since the Roman Empire no longer exists, it's pretty much dead. Fell. That.
Everyone in Romania just went,
Well, I'm sorry.
They remain.
They're Romanians.
To counteract Joe, if we were during the time of Constantine and we were Messianic Jews, I would say no. We're celebrating because you know what he was trying to
I'm
do.
gonna ask you to please tell me how Christmas, the whole celebration of it, has changed from then to now.
Well,
Huge,
because
actually.
because you know we've read about the history and how there was a break. Once Rome fell, people just grasped on the things, and it got so I don't know, like it kind of transitioned from Constantine's vision of it to sort of appeasing everybody, and so he can rule them. To let's take the biblical part of it and keep that and leave Rome alone.
And that's what happened in the Reformation, right?
Yeah, that's so what they were doing is trying to take something that was meant for evil and turn it to good. And then I don't know if Martin Luther was trying to do this. I keep wanting to say king for some reason. I don't know if Martin Luther was trying to do this, but he was also trying to give them the gospel and not just, oh, this is a god of Saturn, celebration. This is the birth of our Lord. This is the biblical, not the day of, but it's just a celebration of the birth of Christ, not a Roman pagan god, and not so he's trying to transition that into let's keep our focus on the biblical perspective here. So that's why I think that we should, because like most people are most vulnerable during the holidays. And so it's a perfect opportunity for us to say we believe in Christ. And this is, he came to give them the true message. People are more open during the holidays to receive the message of Christ than they ever are during the other days. I don't know why that is, but it is.
Certainly has become a global phenomenon.
Right.
500 years, hasn't it? And somebody made this point a long time ago, and I thought it was interesting, and it bore thought. If anyone should be celebrating the birth of the Jewish Messiah, shouldn't it be the Jews?
It should
Now, we don't know when he was born, obviously. You can talk to people back and forth, and you can have controversy all you wish, but in the end, nailing down a date is pretty difficult. There is some indication that Joshua quoted earlier from the book of John, and we talked about this earlier during our videos on Sukkot, or the Feast of Tabernacles. The Yeshua may have been born during the Feast of Sukkot.
It could be.
It's possible. Never know. Maybe. And if that's the case, then Sukkot itself would almost be like a celebration of the advent of Yeshua and the light of the world and all this stuff that goes along with that holiday. And if that's the case, then it means that his birth was marked and observed, which is very interesting. However, today we have this influence of December 25th.
Right.
So, what should Messianic Jews do?
Well, I just want to make a little point real quick. Because I remember when you were talking about Passover or Yom Kippur or one of the holidays, and you said that we are not exactly sure when to celebrate it. So
Yeah,
we added-
there's a little bit off. Yeah.
So it really, in probably a majority of holidays in the Jewish faith, we don't exactly know when the actual celebration is.
We do our best.
We do our best, and I think that if we say, oh, we have to know the very day that Christ was born to celebrate it, then we'd have to say that about Yom Kippur and Passover, Sukkot, and Feast of First Fruits, and
Sure.
all that. So
Sure.
I think that the heart of it is who we're focusing on. And like you said, if if the Messiah in any way, the birth, the resurrection, the death, the burial is to be celebrated, it should be by those that he came for.
Mhm.
He came for the lost sheep of Israel. And if Israel doesn't celebrate it, the rest of the world doesn't need to, because we are the people that he reached out to say, hey, I want you to give this message to the rest of the world.
Right.
I want you to proclaim that. And so we of all people should be putting up our manger scenes and putting up our, saying,
So you're saying
proclaiming
it's more
the
about
gospel message.
witnessing.
Yeah.
Okay. And it certainly is a time of year when people are more open to that, right? You would probably look a little odd putting up a nativity in April, but put one up in December, people expect that and they know generally what it means. If they don't, we can tell them. Now, it's interesting to note that despite the fact that there is no date, generally speaking, associated with the birth of Messiah, again, maybe it was Sukkot, who knows, his birth is mentioned in great detail in two of the Gospels, right? So join me, if you will, in Luke chapter 2. There's our YBW. Luke chapter 2. And we will close with this.
Which I agree, with this also confirms, Joshy, what I'm saying about how it is important. It's very, it is substantial for us to know not only just the death, burial, and resurrection, but also the birth, because it proves prophecy.
No, absolutely. It's a fulfillment of prophecy. Christmas today has become very politicized, like everything else, and it's become a cultural sort of icon. And so much so that if you celebrate Christmas, you're not Jewish, and if you don't, you are. That type thing. It was never intended to be that, right? Never at all. Again, if anyone should celebrate the birth of Yeshua, it should be Jews. He's our Messiah. God brought him to our people, to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, in our land, right? He taught the Torah. Jesus said, "This is the greatest commandment. Hear, O Israel. The Lord our God, the Lord is one," he said. "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and might, and strength, and love others as you love yourself." Quoting Deuteronomy and Leviticus. So, the Shema, exactly. So, Yeshua, you can't get more Jewish than Yeshua himself. And his birth was marked in the Gospels. Does that mean that we have to celebrate Christmas? Absolutely not. It says in the book of Romans, whatsoever is not done in faith is sin. If you don't have to put up a tree or wreaths or activity or make cookies or anything like that.
Yeah.
Not at all. It's fun, but you don't have to, right? If you want to observe Yeshua's birth, go for it. If you don't want to, it doesn't matter. And what is important, though, is that we observe and celebrate the person of Messiah. And as observed and celebrated in the Gospels, even his birth, right? Who wants to start reading in Luke chapter 2, verse 1?
I think it'd be best if you did it.
All right. Now, in those days, a decree went out from Caesar Augustus that a census should be taken of the whole world. And this was the first census to take place while Quirinius was the governor of Syria. And everyone went out to his own town to register. So Joseph went up also from Nazareth in Galilee to Yehuda, to the city of David called Bethlehem, since he was from the house and line of David. He went there to register with Miriam, who was pledged to him in marriage and was expecting a child. And while they were there, the time came for the child to be born. And she gave birth to a firstborn son, hers. She wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger, it's a feeding trough for animals, because there was no room for him in the inn. And there were shepherds residing in the fields nearby, keeping watch over the flocks by night. Just then an angel of Adonai stood before them, and the glory of Adonai shone around them, and they were terrified. But the angel said to them, Al tirah, do not fear, for behold, I bring you good news of great joy that will be for all people. For today in the city of David, fulfilling prophecy, a Savior has been born to you. He is Messiah, the Lord. He's divine. And this will be a sign for you. You shall find a baby wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a feeding trough, a manger. And suddenly there appeared with the angel a great multitude of the heavenly host, praising God and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace to men on whom his favor rests. And when the angels had left them and gone to heaven, the shepherds had said to one another, Let us go to Bethlehem and see this thing that has happened, which the Lord has made known to us. So they hurried off, and they found Miriam and Joseph and the baby, who was lying in a manger. And they had seen the child, and they spread the message that they had received about him. That's what confused us with that. So
Anybody else hear Linus when you read that?
I do.
I know.
Yeshua is the Messiah promised to our people since literally the beginning of time in Genesis chapter 3. And really, he's reflected in Genesis chapter 1. He made all things, and through him, all things consist and hold together. We celebrate with great joy his birth. And it doesn't mean we have to put up a tree, doesn't mean we have to hang wreaths or give gifts, but we celebrate his birth because he's the expression of God's love to mankind. And that's what Messianic Jews should do. We have run out of time, of course, so thank you guys, yes, for your time and your thoughts. Thank you for joining us and watching with us. We pray that God will bless you, and if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. And if you don't, that's cool too. But happy Hanukkah as well. Tonight is the 6th night of Hanukkah. So, yeah, so it's a good time of year. Meanwhile, as always, we say that we ask for your prayers, right? For the Jewish people, for the salvation of the Jews, and for the peace of Jerusalem, and for an end of the war as well. So, Shavua Tov.
Shavua Tov.
Good week, you all, and a good week to you as well.